So, is there any truth to the idea that we really marry our mother or our father? Why do we do this and what does it mean?
I have definitely seen that. And what happens is our relationships with our parents are the basis of all of our relationships from there on. And so because of that, in that relationship, we have that imprint of what's our challenges, what's our life lesson all about, and how do we work through it. We work through it through various different challenges. And I ended up writing a book on different body types to help you identify what those life lessons are and what those challenges are. And a lot of times it helps if you understand where a person's basic nature is. And so do you have someone who is emotional that really needs to be heard, and it's not about making sense out of the relationship or solving the problem? And then you've got others that are more interested in solving the problem rather than just expressing the emotion. And so one of the areas that I found that's good in understanding your partner is by understanding your dominant gland or your body type, because this really tells you where your strengths lie, and it also shows you how to relate to that other person because you understand who that person really is, what their needs are.
I think that's so important, is that we recognize that everybody is unique and different. It's just as important to understand your partner's weaknesses or their challenges so you can be more accepting and forgiving. So it's knowing your partner's vulnerabilities and not having to expect them to be as good at certain things that you're good at. And that's understanding differences. It can be so helpful.
And so by knowing your body type, that's one of the areas where you can see where those challenges are. So that's a way of being able to move into working with the strengths and being able to look at the other side of that challenge. So if it is the rejection, to get to the point of acceptance and that learning to accept all the aspects of yourself rather than just trying to put something on the shelf.
When someone finds themselves feeling deeply disappointed by another person, their spouse, a friend, work, whatever, what is your best advice to process disappointment so it doesn't bottle up inside?
Well, the one thing you want to remember is what causes disappointment is expectations.
Right.
So anytime you have an expectation, you set yourself up for disappointment, whether that's an expectation for yourself or an expectation for someone else. The way out of disappointment is appreciation. This is learning to appreciate yourself, learning to appreciate other people, and taking personal responsibility. The problem with disappointment is we expect someone else to do something, and that may not be their strengths. One of the things that was a big revelation for me was when I realized that if I could do something easily, that was not necessarily someone else's strengths, and that could be very difficult for them. Because I always thought if I could do this easily, someone else could do it if they would apply themselves. That's not true. And so by knowing your body type, you can look at what those strengths are and also where the strengths are in someone else.